Hi everybody, welcome back to the Rebel Chums channel. Today we're going to talk about an interesting topic that you probably wanted to hear more about over some time now. We're going to talk about Saberforge as a company and talk a little bit about their products. Now, you might already have seen videos on the YouTube regarding, for example, Saberforge Exposed by Pagan Gamer or something like that. I think it definitely had some interesting points. I also think it was done by somebody with very little actual experience on Saberforge products. So what happens is, in this prime example of Pagan Gamer, is he is doing a review based on what he see from feedback on Facebook and whatnot, and use that to make the video. And he definitely had very valid points, and I think that is also a very good thing. And also, it's his opinion, so which is also again very important. So please mind, this is my opinion about Saberforge. So if you have something to say about that, please leave some nice comments below in the comment section. Please also try to consider the fellow YouTuber commenters giving their own opinion. So let's keep it nice. Don't put any swear words in there, etc., because I also want to keep this channel child friendly. Anyway, my verdict about Saberforge is that it's a little bit different than what Pagan Gamer basically portrays as the actual truth about Saberforge. He brings he brings it as if it are all facts. I think there's a little bit more to it, and in all honesty, I actually do like Saberforge quite a bit. I like their products. Now, I do have my gripes with their products as well. Like, I have some massive gripes with their products, and you have seen that in my videos. I've done so far, I think, around 14 or 15 Saberforge Saber reviews by now, and of which a few were dramatic. Just a few examples: the Saberforge Bane. Twice I got a Bane with a wrong color scheme and a massive seam between the halves of the body, and I got a Saberforge Reliant, which has a horrible skewed pommel. Like, I don't know what happened to that one, but that was just horrible. Then we had some other minor issues, but those were more had to do between the Saberforge's hilt designs, how the hilt was designed for the construction and the materials used. Because one thing that Saberforge has as in my opinion, as a pro, is that they have a lot of different designs, a lot of different hilt designs, different characters based on movies, canon, non-canon, so very different range of sabers, and quite a vast amount as well. And I don't count in the ASP system, just the actual hilts. So it's quite diverse. And some of the engineering done on constructing these lightsabers were done very good, and some of them were done not so good, or not good at all. And it also comes down on cost saving, like how much is spent on this materials, or this part of the design, or that part of the design is contributing to the overall product. Now, for example, the Saberforge Bane was constructed in a way where it has two casted halves from alloy that would then be bolted into place from the sides, and that didn't work out very well because they spent money in the construction design somewhere elsewhere, and then the two halves didn't line up properly, and it just left a too desired product. And some people are very happy with their Saberforge Bane, say, no, I've never had that seam at all, and kudos to you. I had it twice, and yeah, that saber is gone now. It's no longer in my collection. So yeah, there's some good designs, some bad designs, and it's come down on actually having people like me on the YouTube do a full review, show you the product I received, and then you have to offset it to other YouTube reviewers and then see, okay, is that a trend in that product? Is that a design flaw? in multiple of that same product throughout other people's experiences? So do other people experience the same issue, or is it a one-time off issue, or is it maybe a non-existing issue and I just made something up? So that's why it's very important to watch these kind of videos, and you want to watch the videos with honest YouTube reviewers that are not so much biased, that are free to say, okay, this is a shit saber or this is a good saber, in a constructive manner. So, but I do like Saberforge. I like their empty hilts. I like their apprentice sabers. They are awesome. I think they're fantastic. $75 starting price for an empty hilt. I think that's a very price design and cost to start off. I mean, design are awesome. I really like the designs. If I offset that to $75 Ultra sabers, just the empty saber, then I feel the design already is so much better and so much more intrigued than the one from Ultra sabers. But then again, there are also trade-offs. Yes, it has sharp edges, and yes, they're made in China. But made in China is like 90% of the world. And even your US-made lightsaber probably has electronics that all come from China anyway. So the batteries, the battery holders, the wires, the LED lens, all that stuff, that's probably all coming from China anyway. And it doesn't matter because you're very happy with that, but I just want to point out that a lot of stuff is made in China, and if it's not made in China, then the machines used to create the products are also often made in China, or the materials come from China. And it doesn't have to be any of the case as well, because some of the manufacturers, they advertise all as US made, and they make sure it's all from the US by US people, so American people. So yeah, it can go all way, but you can see also there's a big difference in quality and pricing and quantity, where you have Solus Holt making amazing products, very crafted person, very small quantities of sabers, but yeah, very sought after. Everybody want to have a Solus Holt, but you can see that back in the pricing, it's a lot higher than an empty Saberforge or Ultra saber. And it depends on how many sabers you want, how many sabers you want to have. You want to collect a whole vast amount of sabers, or you just want to have one or two high-end pieces, or maybe depending on your wallet, you only want to have high-end pieces. It really matters. It really comes down on how much money you want to spend. To me, the price range of the empty Saberforge sabers is my price range. That is basically what I want to afford and what I can afford, mostly. So I jump onto Saberforge because they have a lot of different designs, and they're actually not looking bad. Yes, there's some weird design elements to the sabers, like I don't like the control boxes on the Saberforge Prodigal Son or the Redeemer. I think it's such a lame thing to have your latching switch or your momentary switch with a piece of plastic, and then you just push that as an activation box kind of construction. I think that's just I don't like that. But then again, it has to fit in a $150 price range for the elite class, and then I can see, okay, they made some trade-offs. They made some trade-offs here and here and here, so that's why they could still manage to stay within that price range. Now, for that, because I'm a little bit more inside than some of the viewers, I actually know a little bit more about Saberforge and what they're actually paying for their products and where they come from, which factories, because I live in Hong Kong and there's quite a bit of intel here, but it's also interesting. I just throw out something here, but iSaber, I just tell people here right now, right here, iSaber is more than meets the eye in regards with Saberforge than a company that is just copying their products. And I don't want to delve too much into it, so I'll let you drive your own conclusions out of here. And some people might already know it, but I just tell you, iSabers is more than just a company that copies Saberforge products. Anyway, since I know a little bit more about these things now in the industry and how it works, I still think Saberforge as a company is doing quite good. Um, yes, they have some quality control issues. They're having sharp edges at some regards in some places. Like some of their sabers really have really sharp edges in certain corners because they didn't spend money on just sanding them down. It's also kind of annoying, but some people make it feel like it's a horrible thing, and in some respects I can agree with that because sometimes I did cut my fingers on it, but it's only with very specific hilt designs and pieces of the hilt. um, but most sabers I have played with from Saberforge, which is now around 15 sabers on the counter, I can say most of them did not have that much issues. The only one that I really had the issues was actually surprisingly the Saberforge Bastion. That whole midsection with those grooves, milled out grooves, that was pretty uncomfortable to hold. That really shredded my fingers like a cheese grater. That saber's also gone. I just no, I couldn't handle it. Um, but yeah, overall, I do like their products a lot. I do praise their Apprentice Saber line. I think it's a very good line. It's affordable. It's mostly one piece. It's not officially one piece though. A lot of people saying that, but that's not true either. Most of them are not one piece. They actually, I think they joined it together under pressure, and then they either for some reason they, I don't know how they do that, or they cover up the welding spots or something, but I saw a few times already that it's not one piece. But they're sturdy, they're good quality, in my opinion, and they are a very good and good looking sabers for the price range. So for $75 you actually get a very nice looking saber. And I'm looking at you, Alto Sabers, but for $75 I'm honestly saying that your price point for that particular range, you don't have very pretty sabers up to $75. I think they're very watered down designs, very little exciting elements in the designs. It's just like very blunt. It looks like a torch or a Mac light, and that's my opinion. So again, it's my opinion. It's not your opinion. You might love Ultra Sabers, and I absolutely salute you for that. Um, I absolutely also like certain Ultra sabers. I don't say it bad at all. They're very strong sabers and very high quality in my opinion for the price range. But the design for me is very important, and there's not much appeal in the Ultra Sabers design. So that's why I draw my attention constantly to Saberforge, because they have a lot of different sabers, and the designs most of the time there is quite a bit of eye to detail, so there's definitely been put some love in there. And in regards of that, yes, some designs have been made by other people that made drawings or whatever and somehow ended up as an actual custom saber by Saberforge. I don't know the underlying stories. I don't know if those people have been paid by Saberforge for royalties or design copy buying over the design or not. There's a controversy there. I don't know. I not too long in that scene there to understand if that is indeed being recovered with those persons. But yeah, there's some copyright of these custom lightsaber designs, and I don't know how much of truth there is, but I definitely believe there is truth to there. So I just let you draw conclusions there again. But yeah, overall, Saberforge do have their appeal. I also have multiple gripes, of course. I don't like the electronics in general. Cannot like the Saber Core. I don't like the Saber Core soundboards. They're pretty horrible. They're very limited in what they can do. They have tons of issues. They're easy having malfunctions. They're literally they're literally duct tape with electric coil tapes to the battery. They just put the soundboard, put the battery, electrical tape around it. Speaker is oh, they changed that now. They put the speaker on a little bit of Velcro and stick it with some sort of hot glue on the back of the battery. The push button, the momentary switch or the latching switch that to activate the lightsaber is actually hot glue into the hilt to keep it in there. There's no nut underneath the part where the switch goes into the hilt. Now I've seen Auto Sabers doing that as well, and a lot of custom saber smiths do that as well, because sometimes it's kind of, admittedly, I admit, it's kind of shit at times to get your nut deep inside the hilt and then get it all tightened up and stuff like that. Sometimes an absolute nightmare. So I can see that they go for that route because it's a mass produced product. They do it fast. So I can see from that point using hot glue takes maybe 5 minutes of manpower, or they do it, one saber is 30 minutes because somebody is 10 minutes trying to get in the nut. And you have to understand they pay per hour for that person to do that. So if they can save some cost there, they will do it, and they actually do it. So again, I see that point. They keep the price range also in that segment of a certain amount of money, but it's unexcusable if you compare it to a Vader's Vault. If you set it off, I did the comparison between the Saberforge Acolyte and the Vader's Vault Acolyte. You can see in the video. Just browse on my channel. But from that, in that perspective, in that case, because the price range is the same, then I think, yeah, that is not very good. You need to step it up there, Saberforge. I also not big fan on the Quad Cree LED. They're getting super hot. The battery doesn't last very long, and it doesn't give me much more brightness than a Tri-Cree. It just that's also factual. That's actually, you can calculate that and you can see the results. I don't think that design is very nice. I just hope Saberforge at some point just discard the Quad Cree and just go back to Tri-Crees and use Flash on Class. I mean, that gives a whole lot more immersion to your saber than having that 1 or 2% brighter experience, because honestly I cannot see the brightness difference with the naked eye. But in general, despite my complaints, I keep coming back because why? Saberforge has a very big, large section of different designs, different elements, different lightsabers designs, and I just love that. They have so much options. Like it can be canon, non-canon, movie sabers. They have a lot. They have everything, and it keeps expanding. They gonna come out with more and more sabers, and that's why I really dig Saberforge. Saberforge is one of the companies that really comes pumping out with new designs, and I really dig that. And that's why I keep buying the empties, because it keeps it affordable to me. I can pay for it. The only thing I have, and I'm really worried about that, is that Saberforge is pushing more and more towards their ASP, and they actually started to replace their Elite Sabers that normally cost $150 for a variant that is now ASP compatible. So all the individual parts are now comprised of ASP parts instead of once the older construction. Let's say the Saberforge Prodigal Son, for example, used to be $150. Now costs you $200 just simply because it's ASP compatible. Now the problem with that is I don't give a crap about that. I just want to have the Saberforge Elite Prodigal Son. I don't want to have the ASP Prodigal Son. So I kind of get bummed out by that, because now I have to be forced to pay $50 more in the future because it's ASP compatible. But I never cared about it because I want to have that particular design. I don't care if it's ASP compatible or not, because I want that saber. I don't want to toss around with different elements later. I don't want to put on a different emitter later or something. I do see that flexibility. I do see the points there, but I don't want that. That's my personal thing. So I don't care too much about that, because if I care about that, I just buy into the ASP parts individually from the get-go. So that is something I see happening more with Saberforge, and that is something that I don't like. So maybe at some point I just have to stop buying sabers, if that gonna happen with all the sabers. Now I'm pretty sure that's actually gonna happen with all their sabers, because it will make it much easier going forward for Saberforge to construct sabers and sell them. But the problem is the price range, the $200. I think for an empty hilt, that is pushing it to over the edge. That is too high. That is a little bit too high for that quality. I just be honest there. Um, so that is worrying me a little bit, because I like the ASP system a lot, but I don't want to spend the extra amount of money when I just want to buy a Saberforge Redeemer, for example. I don't want to buy the Saberforge ASP Redeemer. I want to buy the Redeemer. So that is something I need to keep an eye on, and if that's gonna happen, then yeah, you see me doing less reviews from Saberforge sabers, because then they start to fall outside my wallet, and that will be a shame. But in general, I think Saberforge as a company, and when I talk about Saberforge, also you have to be reminded that people on the YouTube, like the pagan gamer I talked before, he is talking per he's saying Saberforge is Phil Isherwood, and Phil Isherwood is shit because he said this and this and this about Christopher Lee and blah blah blah. I think at this point Saberforge is so big, it's not longer really Phil Isherwood, it's now Saberforge with a lot of people working there, well, people working there, and people having heart for custom saber industry, and having heart for their work, and love what they do, and love to work with people, and they're lovely people there, like they're absolutely lovely people working for Saberforge. So it would be a very shame to say, oh, Saberforge sucks because Phil Isherwood sucks. Even if he sucks, and even if you don't like him, you cannot say the whole of Saberforge sucks because you don't like him. There's plenty of people also working there that actually absolutely love what they're doing, and it just happens so that yeah, certain people that we all love in this scene, like we're looking about some people like who used to work for Saberforge, and then are talking about Shamim. I'm talking about Jedi Jordan, or we're talking about Daniel Lane, and we're talking about Garrett. Um, yeah, it happens, right? It's fortunate. It's a company. Decisions were made, and people also go on in life. Um, but it's interesting we're talking on that level in a company as if we're ex-colleagues, or we're inside the company, like it's like almost like a family or something. Like that is a little bit scary as well, because it's still a business, it's a company, but we're talking and gossiping like it's like your neighbor or something. It's a strange thing, and I think that's also something that you really cannot discredit Saberforge about on that perspective. I think what happened also is in the last a year, Saberforce started to take a different direction, different approach, and I can see it's in a more positive direction in terms of just the way how they present themselves. And I think even Phil Isherwood is not making much comments on Facebook anymore. I think it's a learning curve. I think it's a learning curve for them as well individually. The company is growing. The individual, what an individual does, people start to know that, okay, the company is growing, and whatever I say potentially harms the company, so I need to tone it down and just be neutral there. And I do see that happening, and you notice there's a lot less controversy from Saberforge for the last year or so. So I think people need to always keep a fresh pair of eye on companies like Saberforge, and just reassess it by year. And I can do these videos more often, but overall, I think Saberforge is an okay company. They have a lot of products which I like. Hilt designs, hilts. I'm a sucker for nice, pretty sabers that are affordable. Really important, the price point. Again, the price point's very important. Um, I cannot say what will happen in the future, because if all their sabers go to $200 for the elite sabers, then I might just have to step out there and even stop buying the empty sabers. Then I just go to alternative brands, because then I'm in the price range for $100 more. I have a fully functioning saber, Vader's Vault saber with sound and blah 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 blah. And then I start to think in that way. So I really hope Saberforge can manage to keep it in the $150 range, which I don't think they can do because the ASP is quite expensive. But it's also not out of the blue, because the apprentice sabers, the hilts, used to cost $50, and then we're up to $75. And then Phil already said immediately that also happened for the elite sabers, which did not happen for a long time. But finally, it's gonna happen. And yeah, it will hurt, but then I'm also like, it's becoming too expensive. It's just becoming too expensive for what I get. At this price point, I'm more than happy to keep advertising Saberforge, because in generally most cases I'm happy with the sabers that I have for the price range. Either the apprentice sabers or the elite sabers. So that was my thing on Saberforge. I hope that gave you some more insights. I don't really say it's an awesome company with awesome products, fantastic, because they have some flaws, but I don't say they're very bad either. Will I tell you to buy a Saberforge saber? Yeah, you can buy a Saberforge saber. If you have no moral issues with doing that, if you feel, oh, I'm object, I don't want to be part of that, I don't want to have any of the products, then yeah, of course, then don't do it. Then I'm not gonna. Then this video is probably also not for you anyway, because you don't like Saberforge, which is fine. That's your opinion, and you might have very valid points. So I'm not gonna say anything bad about you, but yeah, definitely. I still feel like if you interested in Saberforge and you see all these comments, etc., I can say you can safely go to Saberforge. If there's something wrong with your saber, then you just go back and you just go back on your warranty, because that is also something that has been really improved with Saberforge. They really started to care about the warranty. Response time is still slow, so always expect 1 week delay before you get a response on your emails. Etsy, the Etsy shop is way better, much faster response time. I actually like the Etsy website much better than the actual website. I think the actual website has some major flaws with the response times of their sales inquiries is way too slow. They need to hire more people on that mailbox to keep pushing back people's with responses. Have a phone line or something. Have an online chat function. Saberforge really have to up that. That's an issue for me. But the Etsy web shop, I say it's the best. It's the best option. It's the fastest shipping and has options to use PayPal, etc. So definitely better than the regular websites. But I'm happy with Saberforge. I'm still happy with Saberforge despite my bad experiences. I'm still happy with them. Maybe it's like a donkey never hit his head to the same stone twice or thrice, but I don't feel like a donkey here. I don't feel like the products are horrible. Some are bad, some are not designed well, but I mean, overall, I'm happy with it. So please take out of what you want. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.